Welcome to the Nursing Experience, episode 3.
Ooh,
Yeah.
hi.
This is fantastic. I'm super excited having you here. Trust me, I
We're
love doing
excited
this.
too.
Yeah.
So if we start from the right and then we go, this is counterclockwise, right?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
counterclockwise. Yeah, let's go counterclockwise. Introduce yourself, name,
Okay, I'm Jessica.
and well, I mean, do you have anything else you want to share?
So, what all do you want us to share?
I mean, you can start with name, what you're doing. If you know what you're doing in nursing, you can say that, and then we'll just go from there.
Okay. So, I'm Jessica, and I think I'm the oldest one in the room. So, I'm 40 years old as of January. I want to probably even become either nurse manager or research manager for oncology. That's where I feel like my passion is geared. I feel like I'm being pointed there.
Okay.
So, and I'm in the Macon area at the moment, pursuing
Okay. Oncology, is that
cancer.
cancer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that the I don't know exactly where it is, but they have like multiple buildings.
Mm-hmm. I'm not in the Anderson building,
Okay.
but I'm over there with it. So.
Okay.
yeah.
Because I was taking a friend of mine to those buildings for radiation.
Okay.
She passed.
I'm
sorry.
She passed
Goodness.
in June, but I was driving her there every day basically for
Wow.
radiation. So
I'm so sorry for your loss.
thank you. It was a lot of
really
fun.
hard.
The car rides were fun though. I can say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was a wholesome moment.
Yeah.
I
can
Just
say.
create memories.
But at
Yeah.
least I know.
So is
Kind-
that what drove you? Because you're wanting to go to nursing now.
Not really. I will share once you guys share.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I'm Latrice. I'm 39. We're graduating in May. My second degree is psychology. That's always been my second love. So I'll be graduating with my bachelor's in nursing and my associates in psychology.
okay.
And that was like, if I didn't make it in nursing, I was like, okay, psychology is my thing. So that was my second love.
Yeah, but you've rocked it this semester.
You
So
have.
By the grace of God.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Allie.
well, as she just said, my name is Allie. I am
Wait. How do you spell that?
ALLY.
Okay. I've had a problem with my name. That's why I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. People always.
Oh, I've gotten ALLIE. I've gotten
Mhm.
You said-
ALYY.
Ali.
But you
Sorry,
said
I was
it's-
about to sing.
You said it's ALLY.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when you said Allie, you were actually talking to her.
Telling
Yeah.
her to go on.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you were talking to me and mispronouncing my name.
Oh,
Well,
no,
that's
no,
fine.
No. Allie.
Okay, we'll get to you.
Yeah.
Allie's got the floor.
I'm currently 29. I'll be 30 in April. And I accepted a job in the ICU. So I'm
Okay.
really excited with that. I have
Yay.
like a whole entire life plan though. So it's quite large. I plan on moving up in the ranks. I definitely I love psychology. Mental health is really important and a really big aspect of my
Mhm.
life.
Absolutely.
So I actually have plans of getting land and getting like farm animals like cows, goats, everything like that. And I want to do a nonprofit organization that people who struggle with mental health can come and get like animal therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
So
Mhm.
that's my ultimate plan.
You should rack up on goats because they're delicious. I know that people,
I-
maybe
but-
you don't want to hear that, but they're fantastic.
I actually I don't think I've ever had goat,
Okay.
but
So if you take goats, now this has
I
nothing
own
to do with
goats.
nursing. Trust me. Take some goats, make some ground goat meat, and then mix it with some ground beef.
Yeah.
All right, and then put some Middle Eastern spices and
Ooh.
slap that thing on the barbecue, on
Okay.
skewers.
That sounds
Yeah.
like that might be
That
good.
sounds
I don't
good.
eat meat, but that sounds like that'll be good.
Yeah,
that
that
does
is-
sound good.
That
Mix
is
together nice
fantastic.
and
I can
tender.
send you a recipe.
Send it over.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So my name is Ali, ALI. So I usually
Okay.
say Ali like Prince Ali or Muhammad Ali because people think that my name is OLLIE.
Oh, like Ollie.
Yeah, like Ollie.
Yes.
Okay.
But I was literally thinking of Aladdin. Ali.
That's
That's
where
perfect.
my
That's-
head went.
Yes,
I sang the
that's-
song on the way to come here too.
Okay, see, that's perfect. That's perfect. A lot of people just don't, they don't get it. That's why I always say my name is Ali, like Muhammad Ali or Prince Ali. Then people just like click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, the reason why I started this podcast is to go through everyone's experience, or I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of nurses. Oh, okay. A lot of nurses' experience, so that I would help people to not freak out as much,
Right.
because I've been surrounded by, and I'm not bashing on females here, but females usually tend to freak out a lot when it
100%.
comes to everything, school related. That's my experience from being here for 2 years. So I said, you know what? Why not just start a podcast? Talk to a lot of students, talk a
Yeah.
lot of nurses, professors, see what exactly is nursing. Because for us from the outside, this is like a war zone. We are getting equipped to go into war, but we don't really know what to expect.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like people are saying it's super high intensity. It's very competitive. You're not getting in if you don't have good grades, and which is understandable.
Yeah.
But my goal was to hopefully mellow that down a little bit so that people don't freak out as much.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah. What was the question I was supposed to answer? Why I got into nursing? Yes,
Yes.
you asked me
Yeah.
why. Yeah. Okay, so I come from a family of, I wouldn't say nurses, but medical field kind of.
Okay.
My mom is a doula, and my
Neat.
sister is a nurse. My sister was the one who got my mom into doula, and my mom loves
Oh.
being a doula.
Yeah.
And she would drive us crazy sometimes because she would work for 24 hours straight, kind of. And I'm like, really? She's like, I love this. I'm enjoying this. I was like, okay, you know what? So as long as you're fine, we're fine,
Yeah.
But my brother wanted to become a nurse. He changed. He works in finances. But I have a lot of cousins who work in nursing. A lot of friends here, actually, who are EMTs and in the medical field.
Mhm.
And that's something. And then there was one incident that made me kind of feel useless, which kind of strengthened that. I was actually on the way to college. And then I was first on site for an incident that had just happened, car accident.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was looking into the car and I couldn't see anyone in the driver's seat. But I was confused because I was like, where is that person? Apparently they didn't seem to have the belt on, so
slid under
their
the seat.
legs were where the passenger seat is, but they were laying sideways.
Oh
Okay.
man.
So, and the lady was freaking out, and
Mhm.
she's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry, he passed. He didn't stop," and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, "Hey, sir, are you okay?" No answer. And then when I was done, I asked my friend, shout out to Chelsea, she knows who she is. I asked her, I said, what do I do in that situation? So she sat me down. She said, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the things you need to follow. I was like, okay, sweet. So I've always loved helping people. I think this
Yes,
is,
that
That's
is where
awesome.
the heart has to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't like helping people and that's not a reward for you, don't even apply.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
It is not about money.
No, and I was just going to say that
You'll be
it
miserable.
shouldn't be about money because, I mean, the healthcare system right now needs people with heart.
Yeah.
There are so many nurses out there that are just in it for the money because, yes, some jobs can be great money, but the patients are what matter. Like, we're there to help the patients, and we need to give them the level of care that they deserve. Like, think about if you were in the ICU or going into the emergency room. What kind of nurse do you want? Do you want a nurse that actually wants to be there and wants to help you? Or do you want a nurse that is only there because of a paycheck?
And also one that will advocate for you. Because
Yes.
Yes.
sometimes, I mean, you don't never know when it's going to happen. You don't know when you're going to get hit. You don't know
No.
when an accident's going to happen. And then what if you don't know anything about the situation you're in and you can't even speak? What if you've been intubated? So you can't speak.
Yeah.
I mean, you need somebody that actually really cares, completely cares, and not they're just, I don't care. I'm here for the money.
You're going to want a nurse that comes in and actually takes care of you, checks to make sure that you've been bathed every day. Because there are times where I've walked into to different hospitals and we'll look at when these patients have been bathed and it's been 5 or 6 days. and you're like, oh, my Lanta, like what is going on?
Yeah.
Why has this patient not been taken care of? And one of them specifically, one experience I had was a quadriplegic.
What's that?
They were paralyzed from the neck down.
Okay.
So they could not do anything.
But could
Like,
they
could not.
Could they speak?
They could speak,
Okay.
but they could not move their arms. They couldn't move their legs. They couldn't turn themselves in the bed, nothing.
Okay.
So the fact that like this patient had not had a bath in 5 days, and who knows how long it had been since he had been turned in the bed is horrible, is heartbreaking.
So that's during your clinical, I'm assuming.
That was during a clinical, yeah.
Okay. We're going to touch more on clinicals later and share horror stories and all that fun stuff. I love hearing about that. But we touched actually on the first episode. I was sitting with Justin. I don't know if you guys know who Justin is. He's in the ASM program, first year.
Okay.
And we touched on this subject of people going into nursing because of the money.
Mm.
My personal opinion is it's fine if you go in for the money, at least that if you still do your job.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not, because I used to work as a sub teacher, and we had teachers who would come in, put Netflix on, and get paid. And the children would snitch on them, so they wouldn't be there for a long time. But there were some people who were there doing their job. So if you were there for the money, because it was a shortage back then. So if you were there for the money, I think it's fine, but you need to do your job. So
Right.
don't just be, oh, I'm just here for the money and do the bare minimum. No, you're there. When you're there, you're actually there.
Yeah, I do agree with
So-
that. I do.
So
Yeah.
So people often get that. But speaking of first years, this is something that I've been wondering because I want to know what to expect. So if I get in to the nursing program now-
When?
yeah,
When
you get
when
in.
you get in.
when I get into the nursing
Positive
program,
affirmations.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Put that energy out there.
Yes.
And you
Oh.
have to keep that. Otherwise, it
yeah.
will consume you.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep that.
You have to go ahead and claim what you are going to do.
Oh well, I'm a positive person. I would
That's
consider myself
awesome.
as a very positive person, but I'm kind of always also realistic. Like if I don't get in here, I don't let it drain me.
Yes.
I just keep on. Okay, so what are my options? What do I need to do? So I'm not that kind of person who's like,
Okay.
oh, I didn't get in, my life is over. kind of
Okay,
thing.
good.
Right.
Yeah,
We just don't
but
want
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, okay, when I get into the BSN, yeah,
You
when
want to
I-
know what?
Yeah. Can I or should I expect from the BSN and ASN second years to take us under the wing? Or is that a culture in the BSN ASN program here? Or do you guys like never interact?
It's very rarely, I would say. I mean, I would say Jessica and I have interacted with some. Have you interacted with anybody, Latrice?
Yeah. During I want to say service learning hours in the skills lab, like they really take to us because they know we have, a little experience. So they really take to us and they'll come to us asking us for pointers, how can I study? What's a better way to study, I'm like, you have to go with what type of learner you are. You have to figure that out first and
Okay.
foremost.
Okay.
To go with what she's saying, to add to that, I wouldn't say that we just take them under our wing. They have to come and approach us. You're
Mhm.
going to have to go
Yeah.
and approach the people above you in the nursing program.
Whoever you're most comfortable with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll have to go to them. They're not going to come to you because they're busy too.
So they're
But
not
they
gonna
will
get-
help you if you come.
So they won't get weirded out.
No, I don't think they
No.
would. Because I mean,
Okay.
I've been approached by multiple people, and at first it was just like conversations. They would just ask me a couple questions, and then I would let them know like, hey, if you need anything, if you need
Mhm.
any help with anything, you need any pointers, like don't hesitate to reach out. Here's my number. Like I've been where you guys are. If whatever you need, like if you need anything, let me
Okay.
know. So I don't think it's anything that's weird, and I don't think anybody would get weirded out because the first thing that you're going to do on one of your first days is you're going to have a panel of senior or fifth semester students come and talk to you about, you'll be able to ask them questions. You'll be able to ask them for pointers. You'll be able to get their stance on like what they went through, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. And you'll be able to talk to them. So a lot of times that's who people will go to.
Okay.
So
Because everyone who I've talked to here, at least they agree on one thing. The nursing students at this college are the most serious students on college campus. I mean, there is no
There's a lot going on up there.
yeah, there is no question
Yeah.
because they actually want to be there. They know what they want to do.
Mhm.
yeah,
If you go to the other side of the campus, that's not the nursing building. People are still trying to figure out: do I want to do business? Do I want to do English? You know, where do I want to go? Do I want to be a biology major? So when you get to the nursing, that's where you can expect people to just be super focused on what
Yeah.
they want to do.
Right.
yeah,
And that's why I was asking, because I've been in the nursing building quite a few times, but it's when I look at all the nurses around, there a lot of them are focused. Like, I feel bad trying to approach them. I don't mind approaching people. Like, the first year I got here, I told the story yesterday. I went around asking people if they want to go to the buffet to just connect and network. People thought that was super weird. So don't do that. Yeah. So don't do that. But in the nursing, it's different, you're saying.
yeah.
So if you approach them, they would.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody approached me and was like, "Hey, do you want to go get coffee and like talk about some stuff?" I'll be like, "Yeah, what like
Okay.
now, later? Like when do you want to do it?" Because
Okay. Do
'Cause
you
if-
guys feel the same?
If you say there's a buffet involved, I'm there.
Okay. I like
as
that.
long as their frozen yogurt or ice cream machine is working.
Yes. Make sure you check. on
Even though
that
I'm not supposed to
before
have
you-
that. But
I was gonna say I like if you approach me, you have to approach me because I'm not the type that'll just approach you. But I am like when you get to know me, I'm warm and welcoming. I'm fun. I'm a good time. But like I feel like you would have to approach me, so I'm opposite of them.
Okay.
And it's not. It's because I just have a lot going on, and I feel like okay, that's a time when I can be doing something on my list of assignments. So I'm like,
okay.
I have to get stuff done. I'm the one like it's always something to do. I like to stay way ahead because when that free time comes, I want that to be my free time.
Okay.
that
I'm
is
that.
actually a great thing to do in the nursing program, though. What she's doing is staying ahead.
Okay.
I have
Do
to.
not procrastinate.
No.
I've actually spoke to, none of you were at the spring fair, right?
No,
Yeah.
I
I
was.
was.
You were
Yeah.
at the spring fair?
Yeah.
As a volunteer?
Yes.
Okay. I must have missed you then.
I talked to you because I was saying see you Thursday, and we didn't even come last
my
week.
brain is just
The
spring
yeah, I
fair, that's
remember.
where
yeah,
they
the
had-
wellness fair.
Yeah, the
I
wellness
was
fair. Yes,
there.
I remember that now.
But I was
You were
down in
wa-
the school.
I
student
was
parking lot.
working.
Okay.
Yeah, I did both. I did the blood drive after, and then I think I did like the GCANs table with the
Okay,
blood
yeah.
pressures.
I remember because you were
Yeah.
walking out. You're like, "See you Thursday." Yeah, I
Mhm.
remember that now.
Yeah,
I was at the water station where we just had to make sure everybody stayed hydrated.
Okay.
Yeah. The hydrating table.
All right.
Hmm.
I was
Well-
at work.
Well, the other colleagues, well, I would say nursing students, your fellow nursing students, they actually all said the exact same thing. Do not fall behind, because if you do, catching up is going to be very hard.
Oh, yes.
So, and I'm kind of like guilty of this outside, but I've always thought that when we get into nursing, it's going to be different because, it's actually something I want to learn about.
Well, you'll need a planner.
Okay.
I got her on a planner, so
Well, you probably need to get me on a planner because
I
I've,
You're
got
gonna
you.
need a
I got
planner.
the
trust me,
hookup.
I've paid people to fix my whole planner,
oh
and then I'll
wow.
be like, I'll be like, hey, because it's easy. I mean,
Yeah.
It
this
is.
This is something you should do.
Yeah.
Just find someone who's like, hey, what do you want? Oh, do you want a Happy Meal, Big Mac, whatever it is? We're like, I'll buy it for you. Just make this planner. They're like, oh yeah, sure. And that's what I did.
That's a good trade off.
Yeah, I offered them. I offered them what they wanted, and they made the planner.
Yeah.
Didn't look at the planner once.
oh gosh.
Look,
So
you're
I'm
not
telling-
alone. I bought one and never wrote in it.
See?
But I did it because I like that idea of being organized, but I do put everything in my phone on my iPhone calendar.
Okay.
So that's what I do, but
That's your
because
plan.
it'll give
Yeah.
me a reminder, like I'll set a reminder for 2 days in advance and 1 day. So it'll
Okay.
alert me twice.
Okay.
And then I do it like that because that planner, any book I'm picking up, it's a school book. It's not the planner.
See, I don't use my iPhone planner. I don't
Me
use
either.
my calendar. I don't use anything like that. Well, like I have a Skylight calendar at home now, which is fantastic, by the way.
I have no idea what that is.
It is
but-
a smart calendar. It is the coolest thing in the world.
Okay.
That's a little off topic, but
Hey, wait, it is part of the nursing experience. Y'all
Well,
are saying
all
we
of us
need
use something
calendars.
different, and
It
that
is.
shows you that you don't have to go by one
no.
way.
Absolutely.
No,
Okay.
I have my
Yeah.
paper planner and I use that for school. I make sure that I write anything important because I carry that with me every single day.
Okay.
So if I don't have my phone on me, which surprisingly is a lot, I lose that thing every single day.
Okay.
I can look at my paper planner. But my Skylight planner, my family can see that. So they can see my schedule. They can see what assignments I have to do. So they can see that I have stuff to do that I won't be able to do, like other appointments or, we can't plan a family day on that day because I have so much due that day that I'll have to be working on.
Okay.
So it's really nice for them to be able to see it.
So planner is what makes your life easier in nursing, or some.
That's definitely how I feel.
Some kind of plan of
Yeah.
what I'm hearing.
Yes.
here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So what would you say then, beside the planner, would help you get through nursing, and what would help you get through
Those
and what would be-
notifications
What would be the worst
in
part?
D2L, the little calendar notifications tell you what's coming up.
Yeah.
Because I do look at that, and I love that the teachers that use it, I love that they
Yeah.
utilize
Yes.
that, because that does help keep an eye. Because we're constantly in D2L, so that does help.
Okay.
So I utilize that a lot because I like to see those dates of when something's coming up, when it's due, and then they also send announcements out too of when something's coming up. Professor Martin is excellent about that when something's coming up or due.
Okay.
The other thing
Yeah, the reminders.
that I
Mhm.
recommend to help you get through it is to find who you click with.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then y'all make plans on that calendar when you're going to meet and when you're not. And you need to first do your own thing first. You need to like write down what you're going to study. And then y'all get together like a day or two before. I mean, I guess it depends on the group and how they want to work it.
Yeah.
But what we typically did was we would kind of study alone first and get our study guides together. And then we got together the day before the test or a couple of days before, depending on what kind of test it was. And we would quiz each other
I
and
agree.
kind of help
Yeah.
each other associate the things so we wouldn't forget.
Yeah.
So I'm
Ever.
assuming you're one group. Like
We're
Yeah.
part of
It's
a
We're
group.
part of
it's
a
on
group.
missing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
There
missing
are
a couple.
missing,
but
Okay. So how big is the group?
5.
5. Okay. So you guys were the original 5.
No, it
Mhm.
was
I would
4,
say.
and then they added me.
Okay.
They added me.
No, I was talking about like original 5 who were supposed to be here today on
Yeah.
the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So you guys would be the whole group. Okay,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
would have been fun. All right,
Yeah.
so now let's look at the other side. What should you not do when you get into nursing besides procrastination? Because we know that's gonna
Speak up.
send you right home.
Speak up. Don't be quiet. Like because I noticed that we've had quite a few students, and I feel like if they had reached out, they might have had that motivation to put that little behind them. Because some people need that. Some people need that push. Because some like me, I'm kind of a loner. So, and I've always been the type that I won't speak up. That's just me. I'm just an introvert.
Let me
So-
just ask you before you continue. What do you mean by speak up? Like in class, ask extra
Like just say,
questions?
hey,
or-
can you help me? Or I struggled on this exam, or I didn't do so well. What pointers do you have? How do you study?
Okay.
to your other classmates.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I assume that ask the professor that extra question. Like don't
Yeah.
if you don't understand anything. That's how I interpreted
don't
it.
stay quiet.
Okay.
Is
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Speak
Put
up.
fear behind you, away from you. You're going to have fears of being judged. If that person makes you feel uncomfortable, then go to the next one. Do not stop. Otherwise, you're going to get stopped. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you're not
Okay.
getting the answer you need. So go until you find where you do click.
Okay.
Who gets you? Who's willing to help? And
Yes.
don't be afraid to go to your professors because they'll even write the next cohort above you and say, hey, and they'll reach out to people with a B average and above
yeah.
to give you tutoring. So I'm
Yeah.
actually tutoring somebody that's in the associates right
Really?
now.
Mhm.
I do
Okay.
it once a week.
Okay.
One other thing I would say is please, for the love of the Lord, be professional.
Mhm.
Like we started out in our first semester, we had people showing up to lab days in like crop tops and shorts.
Oh wow.
And I'm sorry,
Like, not
but
shorts, really
no,
underwear.
like they were
Oh,
booty
talking about,
shorts.
but yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Wait, was
Okay.
this assessment days when you had to have like
no,
on minimal?
this was just practicing. But still, like it's sorry, but it's lab. Like come in your scrubs
Okay.
or come in jeans, t-shirt, something modest. Like we are going to be nurses. We are not going to a club.
yeah.
Even though yes, some like we all of us in here are pretty much past our 20s. Like there are going to be young
Nurses.
kids, nurses.
I know what you're talking about because
Coming-
most people I'm talking to right now, sorry for interrupting you,
No,
are
you're fine.
between 18, 19,
absolutely.
20s. And I'm the only one so far that's above 30.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to, but even when I went to take my TEAS tests, I took a look around. Most of them were super young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about. You can
Yeah,
continue.
you just need to be professional. You're going into a very professional career. Like we are handling we're dealing with people's lives.
Yep.
Please, like you need to
Reputation is important.
Yes, you need to use the right wording, dress appropriately, be respectful. Don't get mad at the professors when you don't do good on a test, because your grade on the test is a direct reflection of
What
you.
put in.
The
Yep.
time you put into it, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
It's
So-
not the professor's fault. Don't blame the questions. Yeah, the questions are hard.
So be accountable.
Yeah, be accountable. Absolutely. Have responsibility for, your actions, how much you put into it. And like I said, the questions are not easy. There are questions that everybody comes out of the test going, oh, I hated that, the way that was worded, or man, had I looked at it this way, had I done this, like I'll tell you right now, I walked out of our midterm today and I was like, I really should have read those answers more thoroughly. Like I really
Don't
should
second
have.
guess.
Do
No,
you get-
don't second guess.
Do you get results instantly? 'Cause
You
I
get
know-
a-
I know you
yeah,
do
you-
Most of the
online.
time, half and half. It
You'll get a
depends.
preliminary score most of the time.
Yeah.
Some professors won't. Some will be like, hey, you'll get your grade at 5, because what they want to do is they want to look at your test and they'll go through and they'll either give back credit for the questions they need to, or they'll fix questions that were
Okay.
not right or something like
Right.
that. But other times you'll get this, I call it a preliminary score, because it's before any questions that were needing to be fixed or just need to be thrown out were put back into the score. So you'll get that. And then normally by 5 p.m., you'll get your actual test score.
Okay. So since we're all of the older age here, I mean, we're still young as hell. I can
Yes.
tell you that.
Mhm.
Yes.
But I always tell people, if you live to 100, you haven't even lived a third of your life, even half of your life. So that gives them a little bit perspective. I stole that from Gary Vaynerchuk, but it is what it is. But it is true, Just
Yeah.
put your life into perspective. But have you guys had to deal with younger people than in your BSN? Have you had a bad experience? Because you were saying what not to do. Like you all were giving us guidelines on what to do, how to behave. Have you had a story where
Hmm.
it spiraled?
I don't know
Uh,
about spiral. Go ahead if you have it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say it spiraled. I will say my perspective, and I
Okay.
could be wrong.
Okay.
I feel like with the younger generation,
Okay.
I could have been their parent. I'm 40, like I
Mhm.
said, so I could have even I don't know what today's lingo is,
Okay.
so I don't fit in. And I guess I want to put out there that it would be nice if they would kind of be a little more graceful and merciful for people who are doing this at 40, and not just make us feel like we're going for our second career or whatever their thoughts are. I guess just be a little bit more mercy,
Okay.
And not only that, but take it a little bit more seriously.
Okay.
Like there are people that this is their second time applying, or this is their second career. Like this is my
Okay.
second career.
Mhm.
This is not a first choice. It is my first choice after, I was in the military prior to this.
Okay.
So this was my first choice as of getting out. But like I've already had that first job experience
Okay.
and that first career experience, and seeing
Exactly.
how some of the younger generation doesn't take even in the nursing
Absolutely.
program seriously, and they'll go party during the weekends. And I'm not saying that's bad. By all means, like, take care of yourself, do some stuff for yourself, go have a party with your friends, whatever. But don't
Let it consume you.
don't let it consume you, and then don't complain about how much you're struggling.
And don't let it affect other people, I'm assuming.
Oh
Because I
yeah.
hate working in groups. I mean, I just hate it because ever since I started here, got English, you know what I'm talking
I was
about?
gonna say, I to piggyback off what
Yeah.
you said and Allie said, I got something coming up.
All right, go ahead.
testimony.
Go
Well,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, this is my second time around. So I'm from the 2022, the cohort that graduated last year. So I was supposed to graduate then. So this is my second time around, and my downfall was not like I was trying to work and I just underestimated what I was getting into, like how much time I needed to set aside. Like I was working 2 jobs, and then I had a daughter that was in college, and I was trying to get her graduated and things like that. And this is just my second time around, and I'm grateful for these ladies because they help build me up and give me that confidence to come to them and ask them when when I needed help, because I'm just not that type of person. And I think that was some of my downfall the first time around. Like I was just trying to take on too much. I wasn't opening up my mouth saying I needed help. Just prioritizing things. You kind of, some people kind of underestimate that first semester.
Absolutely.
It's a lot
Okay.
because
Oh,
you don't know
yeah.
what you're getting into. You're taking 3 courses and they all mean a lot because they're foundational.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
So to
So-
She's
piggyback off
exactly
what Allie said and
100%.
what you said.
That is
Mhm.
literally, that first semester is where you are putting your roots in.
Your meat and
soil.
potatoes.
So if
And it
you
is
don't get
hard.
them in there real
Mhm.
good, so for sure, that is the most significant,
Mm-hmm.
Oh
is what I
yeah.
would say. Because just like she said, it is
Okay.
foundational. That's
So-
where you're sticking your feet all the way in,
Yep.
and you better get a good hold and then be ready to stack on top.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like my professor Michelle Perry Stewart here at the college. Shout out to her, by the way. So she told me that you guys are not nursing students when you get in. You're nursing students now. You're not English professor when you get in. You're English professor now. This was my first semester here. Fantastic professor. I loved her. So she tried to get us into mentality. You're not about to be, you are, because you're on the path right now. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
start getting into, and that's what I'm assuming that's what you guys are signaling to. Once you get in, you need to already have had that mentality. You're nursing now, you're building.
Yeah.
There is
Mhm.
no, oh, I will just take it easy the first semester and I'll start
Mm-mm.
doing.
You already behind with that thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they even say when they ask you in class, they're like, okay, who's taking care of these patients? You guys are. You are. You
Mhm.
are the nurse.
Okay.
You are the nurse now. So you need to start thinking like that.
So the professors are there more to see that everything is going correctly.
They,
Well, besides not when they're teaching,
okay.
of course. But I mean,
I was like, they still teach.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But,
They'll
I mean,
show us what to do and then have us do it.
okay.
Yeah.
So basically, they're illustrating even during clinicals. You're going to have an example. They'll either do it on a screen or right in front of you or both.
Mhm.
Okay.
So Gordon State, they are on point.
Yeah.
I really don't have any complaints about one professor.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely not.
Okay.
No, all of
It's
them
been
have been
wonderful.
wonderful. They've been very open to talking with you, especially if you're not understanding something.
Yeah.
They all have said multiple times, if you are not getting something, come make an appointment with me.
Mhm.
Come talk to me about it. We can go over something. We can get you to where you need to be, but don't wait until the last minute,
Right.
because that's when they're going to be like, I'm sorry. But
Okay.
it's, if you wait until 2 days, a day before the midterm or final exam, and you have a
2 months.
74 and you walk in there going, hey, I really don't understand anything we went over this last half of the semester, they're going to be like, well, good luck.
Okay.
Like you've got.
I mean, they
you've
can't
got
teach you half a semester
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Like
So-
you've got to put in the effort.
So
Yeah.
your word, I would say, would seem to be accountability.
Yeah, majorly.
That's the
Focus
the ma-
Accountability, responsibility,
and stay focused. If you
Yeah.
are a
Discipline.
person,
discipline for
Who-
sure.
very much so disciplined, but if you are a person who is great at many things and you just are in this and in that and in that and in that, you need to get your priorities straight. That if you go, when you get into this program, you're going to have to let all that stuff be on the back burner.
Okay.
You have to be in this pretty much 100%. So it is harder on those that are parents, and every one of us are a parent, but I think that's why we made sure that we made our schedule so tight and made sure that we are on point with because we have to be parents still and spouses.
And I will
So-
say that Jessica did learn that. Like, if I may share that,
Yeah.
like
for it.
during first semester, she was
Gardening.
gardening. She was teaching a youth group at her church. She was doing a bunch of stuff. And I finally looked at her one day and I said, Jessica, you need to stop. Because look like you've got to look and look at how you're doing on these exams. How much are you studying for them? And she would go, well, I studied this amount, but then I had youth group and I had to go here and I had to go there. And I'm like, well, you have a husband and he can help. You need to start using those around you to
Learning.
help you because you cannot do all of this.
Okay.
You need help.
You're going to have to learn how to delegate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's part of nursing. You've got to learn how to delegate. And things that are out of your control, you've got to just kind of let be. So
With prayer.
if you can, yeah, I mean, it
Pray.
helps.
You're gonna have to
It
pray.
helps. If you can get other people to take care of some of the house stuff, basically what I'm trying to say is you want a strong support system.
Yes,
Get a strong support
absolutely,
system.
absolutely.
People who will pick up the slack for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your
Oh,
other prior responsibilities.
Long story short.
She just said support system, and I could see all your heads were like,
Yeah.
I said that. I remember I
Amen.
said that when we were gonna do it last week. I said it's the support system.
Yeah.
We
It
said
is.
that. It's that you gotta have it.
Yeah.
You'll
gotta
need
have
it
it.
here,
It's-
and you're going to need it at home.
Absolutely.
So this is my nursing school family right here,
Okay.
and praise God that I met them. 'Cause I would not have made it without them. I
I met
can say
Jessica
that.
in biology before nursing school, and we
Okay.
I
sat
love
next to
that.
each other.
I love that.
Okay.
And then we applied. And after we took the Kaplan
on the same day.
on the same day at the same time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I walked out of there and I was in the grocery store and she called me and she goes, "How do you think you did?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna make it in."
Oh.
And
I
I had to
was
have this
bawling.
whole pep talk. I said, "Wait a minute. I feel like I did good because I did have this test previously. I didn't get in, but it said I needed to make like this many points higher, and I was like, I made those points higher. I feel like I told her, I said, I really just know that I made it, and you made higher than me, so you're in."
Okay.
And she
I
was like,
was like,
she
I
had to
told her
let me
no.
go.
I did. I was like, I've got to let you go because I can't have this conversation right now.
That sounds just like you,
I
Allie.
completely deleted my chickens, like my eggs. Like they say, don't count your chickens before they hatch. No, I deleted my eggs. Just
And I'm like, I got the basket. I got her basket over here. I'm holding her basket of eggs because I know she's in. I'm like, let me just have that basket. I got you.
and then she called me. She goes, "I got the email. Did you?" And
She's
I'm
like,
like,
"Wait a minute."
"Hold on. I'm sorry. You did?" And
This
she
was
goes,
after crying.
Yeah, this was,
screaming,
like,
jumping
months
up and
later.
down.
And I was in my house, in my dining room with like all the stuff around me. And I had my laptop on my chair. And I was like, "Hold on, I'm logging in now." And we both opened it at the same time. And we both got
I love
in.
that.
And it
I
was
love
just,
that.
it was awesome.
Okay.
And now we're about to graduate
Yeah,
together.
that feeling was a wonderful feeling.
It
just
was.
seeing that
Just
email.
knowing that you made it in was,
Yes.
it is a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yes.
It is.
This is number
Yes.
4 in the state of Georgia out of like 62 nursing schools.
Yeah.
Really?
Gordon State is.
I didn't know that.
Their nursing program
Okay.
is number 4 in the state out of
It's-
62 schools. I did all my
Okay.
research,
That's
y'all.
okay. That's what I've
So
heard. Now I've
that's
heard
a
they're
big
good.
deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That to
so
me is a big deal.
getting in here is a big deal.
Just
Yeah.
getting in.
It's a
And-
huge accomplishment.
Okay.
So once you make that, the only thing that stops you from becoming a nurse after that is yourself.
Is you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Whatever you let
I
get in the
love
way.
that. Say it again.
The only,
only
thing that's going to stop you from finishing it. If you made it in, that's the hardest part, was making it in. And once you get that acceptance letter, just keep going and don't let other things stop. It's only from the moment you are in, it's 2 years and you are done. You can go back to do all the things. You can garden the rest of your life with more money.
With more money.
You
and
better
more
preach over there.
3 days on and 4 days off. I've had 4 days of gardening now. Let's go.
Yeah.
I am that I have, you know what I'm saying?
There's going to be outside sources that are going to
And you can
try
do
and work
church
against
still.
you.
Yes,
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to block it out because
All
you
the
will
things.
lose friends.
Yeah,
you will lose people.
touch.
It could be family. You
You'll
will
have-
lose some people.
There's times where I've had to tell like my family, like, hey, I'm sorry
Mhm.
that I haven't talked to you in like a month.
Yes.
But like I'm
Yes.
busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will
It will
text
be
my
that way.
friends
Some
and I'm
will
like, hey,
understand, some won't.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I have a couple of friends right now and I love them to death. They are wonderful. They have stuck by me this whole entire time and they understand why I haven't been talkative. They
Mhm.
understand like why it's been maybe a month since I've texted them
Mhm.
or just
Mhm.
haven't reached out at all. Even Jessica, I don't think I've really even been very talkative in our whole group chat just because I've been so busy and so focused
Well,
Mhm.
at
on
this
trying to
point-
get through this semester.
At this point, they're working, doing extern, precepting, still got to study, still got to be mom, still got to be
Working
wife,
our own
Yeah.
jobs too.
and then having regular jobs they had prior to that. And so we have to keep that in mind
Mhm.
as also nursing family, that when you're nursing family,
Mhm.
when crap hits the floor, you're busy.
Yeah.
You can't take things personal.
Right.
Mm-mm.
And that is something I need to give because I have taken things personal myself. And being one of the older people, you would think that person wouldn't do that, but that's still part of learning in nursing school about your own stuff, about your own issues that you've got to work on to become
Yeah.
the better version of yourself.
Right.
And be realistic with like how much you can do and how much you can handle. And it is going to be a learning process within that first semester because during that first semester, you're going to have 3 classes. You're going to want to still have your own life on the outside, but you've got to make sure that you have balance.
Okay.
And
Balance
support.
is key.
Okay. That's
Those 2 things, balance and support. Yep.
see, this is it's funny because I wasn't always on a nursing path. So I've been all over the place. I've worked in an amusement park, I've worked as a chef. I actually wanted to become a chef 2012. I went to school, but then it was all about the chemistry of the food and how things, it was basically why you shouldn't lick your finger and dip it into what is it called? Not gravy. It's like vanilla custard.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh.
the reason why it breaks down. So it was everything
The
behind the
enzymes,
scenes.
the
Yes.
digestive enzymes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So all of that, and I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Because I wanted to be in the kitchen. That's how I learn. Put me in the kitchen, cuss me out, tell me you're doing something wrong. I learn on the field.
We'll
better.
sit Gordon Ramsay on you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was watching. I was watching that while I was
And
going
that's what
through
made
college.
you decide to go to chef school?
No,
Or
I
nursing
loved
school.
it before. I've always loved it before, cooking for people. But then after one semester, I was like, nope, I'm out. I came back, started working at the airport, and then from there, I went to the amusement park. I worked at tech companies. I've been all over the place.
Wow.
But whatever you guys are saying is the exact. I mean, I was like, this is the same wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
Along the way, you will lose friends,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
especially, and if you lose them, it's better.
It
sounds
is.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
it's
okay.
better
It's okay.
because ever since, so I'm an international student, and when I got here, very, very few people continued to reach out. And it's funny because every time you reach out, they're like, well, why haven't you reached out? I'm like, bro, this is a two-way street.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have a
Exactly.
phone, I have a phone.
Exactly.
I don't need to be reaching out to you all the time. And I recently said this to a lot of people. I said, I'm very busy here at the college. They don't understand that because now I'm even more busy because I started this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another podcast on the side. You were talking about mental health. That one is about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And then I have, so if
I
you want
like
to be on
that.
that, you can be on that one.
all right.
Yeah. And then I started a business club now. So I have a lot
Busy.
Yeah, I have
That's
a lot
awesome.
of balls in
Mhm.
the air.
Some people
But-
don't understand and get that.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
especially if they're not in the right mindset
Yeah.
of college.
Yeah.
Or like haven't ever been to college and don't know the
Exactly.
workload.
But I do have one friend, and we have had contact ever since and the fun part, I've told this to his face. I was like, bro, when we first met on that job, I was wondering why the hell you were still on the job and why they don't fire your ass. And I was like,
we all have that
yeah.
friend, I think.
Yeah. He kept laughing and laughing and laughing because he had been there for a while. So he knew the in and out, and he was just like, I'm tired of their BS.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. But then once I get to know him, I was like, okay, this guy's pretty cool, you know? So we kept talking, but every single time I tell him, hey man, I'm thinking about starting this project, it's the same exact answer. Perfect. You're gonna do it, you're gonna crush it. Just positive stuff.
Yeah.
Even if you fail, he's like, you know what? You failed in a good way.
Because you
So-
tried.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
did your best.
So all of those things are super, super important. So it's funny to hear you guys, what do you call it? Reaffirm that
Yeah.
for nursing as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be
I love to
interesting.
see a nurse. I just love to
Right.
see a male that's in like a
A
female dominated career. Like I just love to see it. So I just say, shout out to the nurses.
Hey,
Shout out to the nurses.
Shout out to the nurses.
That's right.
I love that.
I mean, I've always thought that's what people say. You're gonna be one of the few guys, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna be the only one. I'm gonna be two, but it seems like there are a lot more guys applying.
There are.
Can we
I will
talk
say
about that subject for a minute? When you see a male nurse, what is your first thought? Because men, I want to tell y'all what my husband and my son said. They both felt like they would be judged as, and this is going to go into a different realm. So
That's
I'm just being open that they would be judged as liking their same sex. Okay.
Okay.
And they didn't
Okay.
want to be something that they weren't, or represent something that they weren't. So they were afraid to go into that because of that. And I thought, well, if you're not that, then if somebody assumes that, then that's their problem anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's their problem, not yours. But when I see a male nurse, I don't think that. That's not my
I don't think
initial
that
That's
thought.
either.
never my
I'm
initial
So I want to
thought.
clarify that.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
When I see a male nurse, I think, wow, he's actually in touch with his feminine side, and he's being gentle and has good bedside manner too. And then he's actually talking to me more than the females do and asking better questions.
See, and I don't even think that. Like when I see, I just think they're a nurse.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's my first thought is,
Yeah.
okay, it's a male nurse. That's
Right.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. We need more males
Yes.
in this field because
Yes.
there are so many females. What's going to happen if there's not a male on a unit and a male patient isn't comfortable with a female nurse?
Right.
Because they have every right
Good
not to be
point.
comfortable with a
Mhm.
female nurse.
Yeah.
Like it's all about that.
Yeah.
But like I don't think I've ever thought about it that way. And honestly, if I may be honest, I think that's a horrible assumption.
Well, and that's
And-
what they think. And I've actually had more guys come up and tell me that
Yeah.
they thought the same thing. And I was like, no. And matter of fact, we need more. And that's
Yep.
literally what we
Absolutely.
need.
I
because-
love to see it.
Well,
I
think
love
about, like she just said, literally. Think about being exposed. And you have, let's say that you are 40 or 50-year-old man, and you have 25-year-old nurse seeing you in the most vulnerable state, surgery, or let's say you got in a car wreck and you are out of shape at this point in your life. And that can be embarrassing, intimidating. A lot of different emotions can happen. And if you did have another male that you could have gotten, a different nurse, that would have been probably nice.
And not
And-
just that, but like when patients are in the ICU specifically, like a lot of times we don't want them getting up out of bed, not just because they're a fall risk, but because like the bathrooms in there are shared bathrooms and they don't lock. So they're either going to use a bedside commode or a bedpan depending on their mobility. And I mean, if they're not comfortable with a young woman or even a woman in general, then they deserve to have a
Option.
nurse that they are comfortable with.
I think I have a theory about this, and I think it has something to do with the past wars we've had. But it's also a fact that women are better caretakers. Like that's what not all women, but most women, they gravitate towards that because of the nurturing side with their
Yeah.
children and all that. And there are studies that say that women are more likely to go into nursing, and men are more, or not nursing, but dealing with people, men are more likely to deal with things. So there are studies that show that.
Yeah.
I just also think that it's has something to do with the world wars, because the men were on the front
Mm-hmm.
while the women were nursing them when they were injured. I think it carried from that time forward, because you would see medics on the field,
Yeah.
absolutely, but they're called medics.
And that's
You're
what I
Yeah,
brought
they're
up
not called
too.
nurses.
Yeah.
Well, I brought that up to them, and I was like, well, medics, that, you know,
Yeah.
that was one of the things that I brought up
Yeah.
to them. So,
So I think it might be that. I mean, I personally, I don't even think about that because I don't care. And I
Right.
told, and I told that I got told by my friend today. She's like, "You're such a man, selective hearing." I said, "Well, yeah, well, yeah. You were talking to me about something. There is no fight or flight. You know, it didn't trigger a fight or flight thing. So I was just like, I'm not paying attention. You're talking about someone else completely. I've never seen them. Probably will never see them. Never
Mhm.
talk to them. You know, why should I care?"
right.
But whatever you guys are saying now, it is important for me personally. I see it. You guys gave me a new perspective. This is why I like
Yeah.
having these conversations, because for me, if I would go in as a nurse, let's just say, and I have a man or a woman standing in front of me, like you're saying, in their 40s, 50s, they're in their most vulnerable stage, I wouldn't even think about it, because I would just go in and be like, "Hey, I'm here to do my job. I'm gonna help you, make you feel as comfortable as possible, so that you can go through this, because this is not a fun process. You're not here because you want to. You're
Right.
here
Yeah.
because you have to. So that's how I think. But you're right. There are probably a lot of people that do not think that way, and can be judgmental, or just the way they don't need to say anything, but the way they look at the patient,
Yeah.
or you know facial expressions, whatever.
Yes.
So yes, that's a really good perspective. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So now, before we continue, we're at 53 minutes.
Okay.
Oh.
Are you guys having fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So far,
All right.
Yeah.
So y'all are fine with going over a little
Yeah,
bit of
if you
our
want
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
You have
Sweet.
more questions?
'Cause
I
I wanna-
told you
I
we
wanna-
could talk forever.
I want to get into the clinicals now that we're talking about ICU and all that. So clinicals, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is when you get assigned a hospital
Mm-hmm.
and you go to the hospital and you practice being a nurse. So you're not a nurse by yourself, but you have someone over you who tells you what to do.
Sort of.
Sort of? Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you
during
all-
fifth semester, absolutely. That is
Okay.
the exact. That's what's called our practicum.
Okay.
You are one-on-one with a nurse. You are acting as the nurse, and you are working under that nurse's license. There are certain things you can and cannot do.
Okay.
Anything with the heart, like heart medications, you are not supposed to do.
Okay.
Just because that can be so detrimental if it's incorrect. You can literally kill a patient by pushing one med.
Okay.
So during your first, second, and third semesters, and even fourth semesters, you are going to be working in groups. You'll be working in groups. You'll have your clinical not preceptor, but what word am I looking for?
Clinical
Instructor?
Clinical instructor. There we go.
Okay.
A word escaped my mind that time. And you'll be in a group of like 9, maybe.
Okay.
Sometimes less, not normally more than that. And you'll
Are
get.
you at a hospital?
You are at well,
Yeah.
you could be at a hospital. You could be at a retirement
Hospice,
home,
yeah.
hospice,
Yeah.
not retirement home, but hospice.
medical facilities.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
any
that-
kind of medical
And
facility.
that is considered to be a clinical.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then all clinicals are going to be different. You could be assigned 1 patient, 2 patients, all the way up to 6 patients.
Okay.
And you'll work with a group with a nurse, and you'll kind of help do that care for that nurse. You'll pass out medications. Hopefully the instructor will help you learn about the medications, because, I mean, you want to know what medications you're giving that patient before you walk into that room anyways.
Okay.
So that way, because it will happen, the patient's going to go, what is
What am I taking this
What
for?
am I
What's-
taking this for? What's that for? What is that little pig pill right there?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Okay, so they
and-
can't be that
Oh,
detailed. Okay.
100%.
Yes.
They
Okay.
will
Yes.
ask you, what's that one?
Yep.
What's that one? What's that one? And so on. And there are times where you have a patient who's taking 18 different oral medications.
And saying,
Literally.
I don't know.
And been
Yeah.
taking
Not
them.
the-
And been taking them.
And you're like, you've been taking this for 5 years.
Okay.
That one's That's it. Like,
Exactly.
Mhm.
And saying I don't know is not the best answer. I'm assuming.
no, that is not an option.
Okay.
If you do not know, just say, you know what? I will go get my instructor, and let me make sure that I have which one this is correct,
Mhm.
and I'll be right back so I can explain it to you.
Okay.
Take the medication with you. Don't leave it there. Go ask your instructor, go over the medications, go back in, and you can explain them all.
Has that happened to you?
Yes.
Have you left the medicine there?
No.
Okay, I was about to say.
No, normally they will be with you
Okay.
during those first 4 semesters. They're going to be with you to give those medications.
Okay.
But you never leave medications
Attended.
unattended in a room,
Okay.
ever. And you never leave them unattended at like a workstation. If you pull a medication, you take that medication from that Pyxis into that patient's room. So that way you know that that medication is going to that right patient.
What's Pyxis?
It's where you get...
All
I don't.
meds,
It's
basically.
basically where all the meds are kept.
Okay.
It's like a
it'll be-
machine
it is.
Okay.
with
It's
the
a-
monitor.
Yeah, there's ones that you have to put like your fingerprint in. There's
Like
a
a vending
code.
machine?
Yeah,
Something like
it's a
that,
vending
yeah.
machine for medication.
Okay.
It doesn't look like a vending
And it
machine.
pops open and then it lets out
Okay.
which box you're going to get what out of.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I've had patients go, "What's that one? What's that one? What's that one?" And they've had like 10 different medications. And luckily, like we were taught in the first semester, like know those medications before you go in.
Mhm.
So I was able to explain what the medications were. But there's a couple times where I've been like, you know what? Let me go find out. Let me go find out what this one is for you.
Okay.
Because, I want to be able to explain it to you so you know what you're taking.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
It's very funny before we go into the horror stories of clinicals. I used to work as a technician, IT technician, repairing phones and all that. And
Oh,
we
you've
would-
done it all.
Yes. we was
So why not nursing?
we were the sad part is that we were diagnosing the devices better than we diagnose people. That's what I noticed, and that's what I always had that at the back of my head. I was like, this is wrong, at least for me, because I'm sitting there and I'm just trying to figure out why this phone is not doing a certain thing. Why is it not connecting to the internet? I run all tests. I try to just eliminate everything before swapping the device out.
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, and I'm like, damn, this is how we should do it in the medical field. But the thing I wanted to share is that there was one thing we used to say: if a customer asks you something about the phone and you don't know, you say, you know what, I don't know, but let's find that out together.
Mhm.
Right.
That's
Because that gives
also-
them that, okay, you don't know, but we're gonna find out. Okay, let's go. Instead
yeah.
of, you know what, I don't know, man, and then you just end it there.
Right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound as good.
Oh,
No.
absolutely.
So yeah, good part.
They have a little cheat sheet now, like in Epic. Y'all use Epic at Willstar?
Yeah, we
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I
So
had to
they
think
have
about
like
it for a second, but yeah, we do.
they have like a little cheat sheet. So they have the Lip Cot app, and you go in there and it'll tell you what that med is for, if it's compatible with another med,
That
or
is really nice.
and then they have it where like in the MAR, it'll tell you what drug class that medication is in. So now they have, kind of little helpers,
Okay.
so
But
you'll
that was-
know.
So, but it's good. I'm assuming it's good to memorize that or
Mhm.
have that in
any
your head.
medication that you
Mhm.
work with on a daily basis, and each individual department's going to be different. You're going to work with different medications,
Mhm.
but there'll be a lot of the same medications. So, like in the ICU, we will have certain medications that we work with a lot versus the floor. The
Okay.
floor will have those medications that they work with a lot.
Okay.
And then it's really good to know what each medication is and what it's for,
Mhm.
and if they interact. But if you don't know, there are ways to find that out.
Okay. So before we jump into clinicals, because I don't want to lose this thought, how important is it? And this goes into anatomy too, because you said know your medicines you're working with. How important is it to know anatomical terms and stuff like that in nursing? Do you have to memorize that and know that in and out?
It's important, but you're not going to use those terms with patients.
Okay.
So it's important for you to know, because when a medication is explained to you, it's going to be used in medical terms. It's
Okay.
going to be explained in medical terms
Okay.
versus like, but you need to be able to understand that
Mm-hmm.
to be able to explain it in latent terms to patients,
Okay.
because they're not going to know what.
And it's like you're the
dorsal,
middleman.
anterior,
Yeah,
posterior.
exactly.
That's one language, and you have the patient that's another.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to translate.
Well,
Mhm.
see, that's the fun part, is because I wouldn't say fun, but when I was taking her to the hospital and she was getting checked out before she passed, I think it was about a week or two. They were telling us about her getting a lateral ventral infarct.
Okay.
All right. I was doing anatomy, so I knew kind of, where it is, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, how do you tell that to patients who have no idea what lateral ventral is? I mean, I know what an infarct is, but
Mhm.
lateral ventral?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys don't use that language with
no,
patients?
not with patients. No.
Okay. So she was just,
The doctors will, and then the patients are going to look at you and go, "What is
Translation,
this?"
please.
okay.
But we are not going to use those terms.
Okay. So basically know them for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes
And the
I'll look it up
doctors- Yeah.
and show the patient what it is. If like the doctor is saying something to me, I'll look it up on my phone so the patient can visualize and see
Yes.
and have
Okay.
an idea of what they're talking about.
Because that's also the verbiage that the doctors will use for
Mhm.
you, that you will then have to go talk to the patient about.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So it's good. So it's good to know that common language for
Mhm.
between you guys, like the nurses, the doctors,
Yeah.
but you also need to know how to explain that in non-anatomical terms or
Correct.
non-medical
Just like
terms to the
Jessica
patients.
said,
Okay.
yeah. You have the doctor language, you have a patient language, and
Okay.
you're the translator.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. So I want to hear the fun stuff from you guys. Practicum, clinicals. Have you guys had any good stories?
What kind of good stories?
I
Do you want
mean-
like patient horror stories? Do you want like horror stories that have happened to us? Because I had a great one that just happened.
My face. Sorry. Jessica's face.
You're looking.
I'm like, wait, what?
Spill it.
Yeah, now you need to smell it. I mean, her face. I mean, and you're like, well, okay, let's hear it.
I'm like,
It's really embarrassing, but I will share it because, you know,
Oh.
oh yeah.
You're gonna share. I know what this is now. Okay, go ahead. I just
okay.
didn't think she would share it.
Oh,
But
okay.
Well,
go
it's a
on, girl.
horror story.
It is.
It is a horror story, and it might happen to other people. Hopefully
So-
not,
Hey,
because it's horrible.
This is the nursing experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not talking about, we're not hiding anything. We're not sugarcoating anything here.
but
I
okay.
got you.
You know,
So-
we can't be lying
That's
to
right.
people.
That's
Wait,
right.
depending on what you say, I might have to eat up my words here. But
You're gonna laugh, trust me. Okay, and this is a horror story that happened to me, so I
Okay.
have permission to share it because I'm giving myself permission to share it.
okay.
So I was, and this literally just happened. I'm not even gonna lie. I've had children. Okay, I've had children. I'm just gonna put that out there. I was at clinical, met practicum the other day, and you were in our Gordon State scrubs, and it was great. I was good day. Ate apples before there, going to work, whatever. I got nauseated. At clinicals, and I was talking to my clinical instructor. We were sitting down, we were at the computer, we were talking about a game plan for a patient. And all of a sudden I was just like, hold on. And I ran to the restroom because I had to throw up. So I started throwing up at clinicals. And because I've had children, I have what's called stress incontinence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no idea what that is. That's what I'm looking
There's
I
all
So-
have
kind of
it
different
too,
ones,
yeah.
so-
There's a ton of
Okay.
different types of incontinence. So my bladder, when I jump, when I sneeze, when I cough,
And now
when
vomit.
I vomit, it leaks urine.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
So I peed my pants at clinicals last week.
Okay. Okay.
When I
And
tell
vomiting.
you, while
So-
vomiting,
Okay.
while vomiting. So when I tell you that I was in this bathroom in the IMCU, I was so embarrassed. I was on the floor and I was just like, oh God, like this is the worst experience I think I have ever had.
Well,
Like,
I mean, at least it wasn't number 2.
Right?
It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse. So, like, obviously, I had to do something.
Scrubs.
I had to do
Or
something.
scrubs or
I was
something.
like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I like poked my head out, and there was a respiratory therapist there, and I was like, can you get my clinical instructor? And I had said her name, but I will
Refrain from that.
refrain from that right now. And she looked over. She got my clinical instructor. She came over, and I explained the situation. And I had like her and the charge nurse trying to figure out scrubs for me. They were trying to get me cleaned up. Like they were handing me. I got to wear the after baby mesh panties, and
I have no idea what that is, but
They're
she's
like-
laughing. So
they're like
Postpartum, after a woman has a baby,
Okay.
they have
these
like
mesh
almost a diaper.
underwear.
Okay.
These mesh underwear that are just like boy shorts.
Okay.
They don't fit.
So right, they don't fit.
Yeah.
So I got to wear
Bulky
those,
and-
and bless my clinical instructor's heart, I love her to death. Not my clinical instructor, my preceptor. She had a pair of white scrub pants.
What is preceptor? You see,
She's kind of like she is a clinical instructor.
okay.
I just work one-on-one with her, so she's
Okay.
my preceptor.
Okay.
which is the
Um,
5th semester
yeah.
clinicals.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, she ran out to her car. She had a pair of extra scrub pants in her car,
Oh wow.
and she was going to return them because they didn't fit her correctly. She just
Okay.
didn't like how they fit. And she goes, "Here, try these on." And so I was able to put them on, and they fit. And she goes, "You can just keep them." And I was like, "Are you sure I can pay you for them? Like, it's no problem." And she's like, "No, it's a gift for you." And I was like, "Well, I'm never going to forget how I got the first pair of RN scrub pants that I will own."
hey, that's a great story.
So,
All right, I know.
That's a good one to start it out with.
So now I know
I
you
told
want
you would laugh.
patient horror stories, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Without
I thought.
any
I mean,
names.
here's the thing. I thought it was gonna be a patient story. I'm
No.
not gonna lie to you. I thought
Yeah.
like someone would have vomited on her or something.
Oh no, I've had
but-
that happen, but no.
Okay. So, yeah, you've heard the story now. I'm assuming people who are gonna listen, you hear
Yeah.
the story. Things
Like,
happen.
do you want us to
Things
go
happen.
really
Don't
deep
take
on
it.
our horror stories? I mean, I can. There's no names, so I
There
have
aren't.
a great story.
You know what? Just share
Okay,
it.
and it doesn't have to do with like me
Spill
specifically. Like I didn't have a problem. Yeah, y'all are about to get this. All right, so I go in with not my preceptor, but one of the other RNs that's there. She's a more experienced one. My preceptor is going and putting in everything on the charts, doing epic. So not epic, but what is it that they go and chart in?
Epic.
It is epic. Okay. I was thinking medications. Well, anyway, listen. So this other one comes over and she's like, "Hey, can you come help me to my preceptor?" And she's like, I knew she was so busy. I was like, "Hey, can I come do it?" And she's like, "Actually, yeah." And I think she already knew because the smile on her face. She was like, "Let's just see what you're made of." So we get in there, and I'm going to be inserting my first urinary catheter.
Okay.
Okay. And I've never done it to a real
I know
body
where this
before.
going.
Okay.
A catheter is the
I know
one you
where
have
this
on.
going.
No.
Oh, yeah,
The
okay.
urethra.
Okay.
Where you pee. Okay.
Okay.
So.
What is that called? The
On
bag.
this side?
Colon-
Colostomy?
colostomy. Okay,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. There's colostomies, there's bladder.
Okay.
Okay. And all that. Okay. Well, anyway, so we're going in to go in. Yeah. So we get in there. She is almost 500 pounds.
Okay.
So to find it, first off, we had to take
Peel back the
200-pound legs and
Okay.
and this person that's acting as my, I guess we'll just call her instructor, is smiling in my face. Let me tell you, for those who complain about wearing a mask, you won't when this happens. You will be so thankful. You'll actually want to have 2 masks on, and then maybe some spray or something up in there,
Ooh, Vicks. Vicks vapor
Vicks.
rub. I have it in my
or
bag.
essential oils,
Seriously?
something.
I will take it out. I will show you.
Because you know that if they're in the hospital and they're at this weight and they not been able to take care of themselves, they're probably not bathed properly either. And she was not. So like what you had already discussed earlier, how some people haven't been washed for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
If they did, it wasn't good. Okay, let's just put it that way, because
You can't reach all places, and
the smell was. I did not touch mine. I am very OCD, so I didn't touch anything on me.
okay.
But I couldn't stop smelling that later.
Okay.
even on the way home, hours later. And I washed my hands I just couldn't get the smell to go away. I felt like, did she get it on my clothes? And I mean, I don't wear my clothes. You need to make sure you have separate shoes, separate clothing. And when you get home, those shoes stay
Outside.
in that area or in a bag
Hey, if
until
your
you wash
hospital
them,
has those
whatever.
little booties,
Yeah,
put
that's
those
what I
things
do. I
on.
I
put those
know.
on.
Put those little booties on.
But
Mhm.
y'all,
what?
so
Little
Booties.
booties.
they're called booties. They go
Oh,
over,
okay.
like
Shoe
Spectrum,
covers.
AT&T wears
Yeah,
them too
okay.
over
Yeah,
when they come
yeah.
in your house.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the story. So she's smiling and she's like, okay, well, I had gotten gloved because this is a sterile field, so I'm ready. And I go and do the cleaning and all that. And she's like, okay, so you tell me where it is. And she's got everything open and ready for me. And I'm like, there. And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, it ain't there. Because that's too big.
Okay.
So I'm looking for like something the size of a pin.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm looking for like something just a straw's gonna fit into. And I'm like, I don't know what you are talking about. That's where a child could come out.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. I am serious. So serious. I mean, really, really serious. This was bigger than a brat. I mean, it was bigger than a brat. Okay. And I wondered if something went and got in there and got
I'm
lost.
not going to
but
eat brats the same way.
I was about to say, I was like, could you not find anything else to
no,
ruin?
I don't know. I just was trying to think of something round in the
A
same
quarter?
girth. No, it was way bigger than that. So we're going to a half dollar. Okay, bigger than a $50 in girth. Okay.
Diameter.
And she's like, yeah, diameter. There you go. So she's like, yeah, it goes there. And I'm like, here? And I'm getting closer with this. And I'm like, what? You want me to go ahead? And she's smiling. And I'm like, if we were not in this room in front of this woman, I'd be like, shut up. Like you knew this. Anyway, when we got out of there, she was laughing her butt off. Everything went well. My first time did become, how could I miss it? It wasn't like you couldn't get it in there. But I was really shocked. I was so shocked. I did not know that the urethra itself could be a bigger size.
Okay.
I only thought that the other
Okay.
would be.
Well,
You
it's
know?
not. Is she that size? It wasn't gonna be a pin tip.
I didn't know that stretched because of weight.
Hey.
I'm
look,
not talking about where you give birth.
No.
We're talking about the urethra.
Okay.
Hey,
Where
if
you go up to the bladder. I
Yeah.
was like in shock when it was that
if they
wide
have a
open.
chronic
Yeah.
Foley, they are also just like that.
Yeah, it gets stretched out and I guess.
You know, I knew it was gonna be a funny story. And I'm not. Well, here's the thing. I mean, if you're overweight, you're overweight. You know,
Yeah.
you need to do something about it. But my friend who's an EMT, one of my friends who's an EMT, said the same thing. We arrived. You know, the guy was overweight, and you had to work through the flaps, kind of like
Yeah.
to try to find
Yeah.
whatever you
Mhm.
needed to
Yes.
find.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bad
And-
from what I've heard. Yeah, I've heard it's bad, and I can understand why. It's kind of the same of if you lay in bed and you're not getting washed, you're gonna start smelling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're not moved, you get bed sores.
Exactly.
And that's gonna smell too. If I'm
And
not
it's
mistaken.
worse when there's skin folds because then there's stuff underneath there and
Bacteria.
it's just
Moisture.
nasty.
Mhm.
It's
Okay.
bacteria
It's
that grows
so
and stinks.
bad.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
thank you for a good laugh. I can
Yes.
tell you that. That was
Yeah.
a very good
That was
story.
a good one.
Also,
That
It
was a
really
good one.
was.
yeah.
What do you have?
You're gonna be able to top it off.
Not at all. Not. You saw I was crying. No, I don't have one.
You don't have a story at all.
Mm-mm. I don't.
Have
I-
you not?
And it's because I guess because I work in the medical field already. So
Well, what are some things that shocked you? Anything that shocked you or that?
oh yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. So at my
Still.
regular job, it's not bad, but
It doesn't need to be.
I didn't know. Like this patient called one of the nurses, and she was saying that she had stuff coming out of her nose. And coming to find out, she was like, yeah, and it dropped in my coffee. And coming to find
Oh,
out, it was
no.
like maggots or something. And they were,
Oh my
yeah, they were
gosh.
like coming out of her nose, mouth, vagina, but they were coming
no.
out of all orifices.
No.
Girl,
So
this
it was
sounds
You're gonna
bad.
make me throw up.
I
Girl,
know.
This sounds like a House episode.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you watch House?
Love
I
it.
do.
I love House.
Go ahead.
So to actually like,
Like this was for real.
if she had to send a picture, no,
You're not pulling our leg.
no, and it was
Oh
just
my gosh.
like I know stuff can happen, but I was just like, man, like why did you let it get that bad? And I'm like, her living conditions had to be bad, and I kind of felt bad too,
Yeah.
because I don't know if she just didn't have the means or just was unaware, but like just us knowing and seeing like the different things that could happen,
But
like
do-
it's just crazy.
Do we know why? I mean, what was the?
What was the results?
So
I mean, why did that happen in the first place? Because I'm assuming. I mean,
I can't remember because I didn't follow up because it wasn't a patient
okay.
with the provider that I was working with that day. It was another, and we heard the phone call and we saw the pictures,
Okay.
and she wasn't wanting to come in, and I'm like, she need to come in. Like this is not anything that needs to be put off. You
So
need
she
to come
wasn't
in.
already at the hospital.
You know how they call and say, "Hey, this is going on," and I'm like, you let it. Like it was falling in your coffee. I'm like, ooh.
Damn. That's
There
bad.
aren't few bugs that give me the creeps, or what I call heebie-jeebies, but maggots and earwigs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
mm-mm.
even know what earwigs are.
They
but I
are
don't know.
creepy. Don't look them up. They're gross.
All right, you need.
And
need
she's
to
gonna
show-
look it up.
show us.
I'm gonna pull it up.
They're
because
so
now
gross.
I need to know.
They're so nasty.
Oh,
Earwigs just freak me out.
Oh no, God!
But, damn.
I know. It's so.
I don't know
Okay.
if there's a
No.
specific way to get them out, but I'm going to do it just to be sure.
I will
'Cause that
not.
freaks
I
me out.
will. No.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
those and I can't do cockroaches
See,
or water bugs.
it's. I mean,
No, thank you.
No,
So that's
I,
three.
I
bugs.
understand.
They look like centipede type things.
Well, here's the thing.
No,
I
they're worse.
understand that, but my parents grew up in the Middle East, and when we went to the Middle East the first time when we were aware of what was happening, the place we were living in, cockroaches were like your second. What do you call it?
like your
There
pet.
are. Well,
Your-
yeah, there
your
are
cousin.
places. I will
They're
say.
pets. You know, they're
There's
living.
George and salmon.
Yeah, they're living
There's
rent.
George.
They're living rent free. You know, and then
Yeah.
they just run by and you just smack them. You
Yeah.
know, so my father every time. You know, my sisters would freak out. He was like, "It's just a cockroach," because he grew up with that. And
Yeah.
my mom did too. My mom would freak out because she had bugs, and I understand why. But it's. I mean, yeah, it's nature, but some bugs are just not, appealing to look at.
That's
Right.
right.
Let's just put it in that way.
Well,
Yeah.
they're not supposed to live inside of humans. Period.
No.
So,
No.
So that's why
what-
that's why I
it's
asked you. It's
bad.
like, do we know how it got there? Because I do not want to be in a situation.
I
like
just
that.
think it was probably the living conditions because when I kept hearing the story, I'm like, okay, she just doesn't have the means and she just let something spiral out of control.
Yeah.
And then it was some other stuff she was saying, yeah, my husband. I'm like,
So he had it
That's
too.
got to be painful though.
Okay, so
to
this
have.
is this is then what I have to say for that.
Mm-hmm.
People who are listening and just all over the place. When it comes to medical stuff, there is no such thing as shame.
No.
Right.
There's
Come get
there's
help.
Not at
just
all.
not. I mean, you can't be. Well, I mean, you go to a doctor, he has to check, for prostate or anything. Is it fun? No.
No.
Is it comfortable?
No.
No. But is it necessary? I mean, you could choose. You either
Yes.
want be uncomfortable for 5 minutes, or do you want to be dead, or
Yeah.
Or go
suffer
through the
even
whole
more?
process
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that.
So always seek help. I understand why you would not want to seek help, because a lot of times you would call someone or go to a doctor and they would be like, you know what, just pop ibuprofen, wait 3 days, and if it's as bad, come back. And then you're like,
Yeah.
you know what, I don't need to go and pay money to get to hear that because I already know the
Right.
whole thing.
It's a financial issue most of the time. I would say
Yeah.
a big means is going to
Yes.
be they can't afford the copay or they already, all of that.
Yes,
So-
but isn't there a rule or something that you can't deny someone help?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
there's
even
laws.
even if you don't have the means, you could still get the help, right?
Absolutely. You go to the hospital
Yeah.
and hospitals have to give you a fair amount of treatment. They have to try and treat you.
Okay.
Um
Now that doesn't mean they're going
That
to give
doesn't-
you
yeah.
surgery or chemo.
No, but I mean, if you
there's a certain level that they
Yeah.
have to give you.
okay,
If you show up at an ER and are like, "Hey, this is what's going on. This is happening." There's a law. I'm going to say it wrong. At Mala, and it's basically a law that states they have to give you a certain level of care before they discharge you.
okay,
Otherwise, they haven't met that. And it would be like, it'd be like you going into the hospital and they'd be like, oh, you're fine, just go home.
okay.
This was on The Resident, the movie, the show The Resident.
I haven't
So
seen it.
good.
Oh, I love The
I
Resident.
love that. I haven't finished it.
Neither have I.
In school student.
So let's.
Life.
We've been talking about horror stuff. Let's light it up a little bit and say so. Let's give people some hope. Or
Oh,
wholesome.
gosh. I have
Wholesome.
wonderful stuff
Yeah.
to talk about.
Yeah.
Give me a wholesome story each, and then we'll move on to the tradition before closing out.
You know what? I have it's a sad story, but it's also
Is it
one
a-
of those stories that is, well, actually, you know what? I don't have to share that one. I have a good one. So and this was actually while I was working. So this wasn't during a clinical or anything, but it was while I was working. I was a nurse extern, and I was working with this patient. I had been working with this patient for multiple days. So this was probably my third day working with him. And he was intubated. He was getting ready to be extubated. And I mean, when I say he was scared, he wrote down on a piece of paper and asked me if he was going to die.
Okay, let me ask you, what's intubated and
So intubated is when they are breathing through a machine.
okay,
They have a tube down their throat and a machine is helping them breathe.
okay,
But this guy was now breathing on his own. He was good to be extubated, which is when they pull the tube out.
okay,
And he was so scared. He didn't know what was going on. He was very confused on how he got there because this was the day that, he finally just came to. Like he was alert enough to be extubated and stuff like that. So he was finally getting better. And he wrote down on a piece of paper, he's like, "Am I going to die?" And honestly, that was the first time I had ever had anybody ask that question. I had no idea what to do. I looked at him and I knew his case. And I said, "You are okay. I'm going to go get your nurse. I will be right back." I went and talked to his nurse. I told them what he said to me. And they're like, "Tell him no. He's not going to die. That just tell him no. Like, it's okay to tell him no." So I went in there and I said, "You know what? You're okay." I said, "I'm here. I will stay with you. Like, you're not going to die. You're okay. And like, you're in no danger of dying right now." And so he asked me to stay in there with him. And I held his hand. And I held his hand for probably about an hour. And then I kept talking to him. I just kept reassuring him. And finally, the respiratory therapist was like, "All right, like, let's get this tube out." And I held my hand through the procedure. He got extubated. The tube came out. And the first thing, he looked over at me and said, "Thank you." And then as he was talking to his nurse, he called me an angel. He's like, "She is an angel. Thank you so much for doing that for me. Thank you so much for being there for me." And it was just so sweet. And it was so amazing to see just that little bit of time, just that little bit of thing that I just sat in there with him. All I did was hold his hand. And it made a huge difference to him. So, I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wholesome story.
Yes.
I like that.
I love that, actually.
Yeah. There's a couple like that I've gotten to experience, and there's some really sad stuff that I've experienced, but I've been able to be there for the family and to know that I've been able to help them through some really horrible stuff.
Yes.
It makes everything better.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the hard times
Have
better.
all of you experienced death
I
Oh,
have.
yes.
in the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think first semester I had to do postmortem care.
Mhm.
okay.
Nobody in my clinical group wanted to do it. So I'm the type, I just like to conquer things, even if like fears of mine. I just like to conquer things. So I was like, I'll do it since nobody else asked to do it. And I think that was my main thing that I was scared of in this career choice, just death.
And you're talking postmortem care is you take care of them after they're dead.
Yes.
So like
yes,
wash them
yes,
and okay.
Yeah.
Yes. This was at Brightmoor Hospice in Griffin.
Okay.
So, and you always hear this saying, it's the people that's living you need to be worried about, not the people that's deceased.
Yeah.
So when I did it, I felt like I had a great feeling, like I was able to conquer something that was like kind of hindering me in this career choice. Like I wouldn't say it was holding me back because I still would do this no matter what, but it was just something that I was afraid to do, and I conquered it. I'm like, okay, this is what it is. This is what the afterlife and postmortem is. So.
Yeah.
I was okay with it. So I'm like, okay. It's just I guess the thought process, because they tell the tech. So in the hospital, like I know most of the time the techs do the postmortem care on the patient. Well, at Piedmont, the techs do the postmortem care and they put the patient in a body bag. And I was just like, what? We have to do that?
That's crazy. 'Cause
Yeah. I was like, that's
know.
a lot for like somebody that's, kind of not experienced
Yeah.
and hasn't gone around in the medical field to have to do. So and that was one of the things that kind of like I was afraid to do. But when I did that, I felt like, okay, this was my worst fear in the medical field, so I can do pretty much anything.
I would assume a lot of things in this field is that you're just afraid to tackle them. But once
Mhm.
you've just survived.
Yeah.
Once you've experienced them once, it's not as bad. I
Mhm.
mean, it becomes a part of your life.
Yeah.
You know.
It definitely can be,
Yes.
a lot of stuff is intimidating in the
Yeah.
medical field.
Yes, I agree. And that's what that was for me. Like, because I think the group ahead of me, so I went in there, the guy was living. And then the next group came in and he passed away on them. And then that's when my group came in and we did the postmortem care. So it was
Mhm.
like, ooh, I just saw him. He was just fine. He was living. And then that. So it was like intimidating. Like, as Allie said, it was
Yeah.
just intimidating.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a wholesome story you want to share with us?
Um,
Because so far, I mean, you've had some pretty wild stories. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I would just say, some of the reason getting into this career path or career choice, just being a patient on the other side and just getting to experience it as a patient. I kind of got into it because I feel like when the hospital experience I had when I stayed for 2 weeks, I didn't feel like my nurse advocated for me. So I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to advocate for patients because I'm already nurturing because I'm a
Yeah.
mom and that's just in me. So I felt like the nurse, she didn't advocate for me. And I don't want to be that for someone else. I want to advocate for my patient. I want to be, especially if they're alone and they don't have anyone. I want to be
Yes.
that one that they can depend on to speak up for them.
Okay, that's what we were talking about in the beginning.
Mhm.
That's that's a very very nice thing. Really
Absolutely.
caring, like you said. And it
Yes.
seems to have we have the same topic now. I don't
Yes.
know
Yes.
you if we're gonna do on the same, but it seems the same topic. I mean, if you just show a little bit of care, it goes a very long way.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
So-
And that's the most rewarding part of this is giving them what nobody else is really giving them.
Yes.
A lot of times they come in and you see some of them that are repeat. They continuously come in because they don't have anybody there for them in their lives. And people gave up on them. So you will have your people who were addicts and different things like that. And now it's kind of getting closer to the end of their ropes and things like that. And nobody comes in with them. So that's one of my stories. I had a guy that came in, and at this point, he had, he had cancer. He was dwindling away, but he had not gotten to the point where he was about to go. He had a little bit more time. So now they've given him a tracheostomy, which is where they put the
Yeah.
opening right here at your esophagus. So anyway, so no one yet had established communication with him and how they were going to talk with him because he couldn't talk at all through it at all. And so as soon as he came in, we were getting the shift report from another place that was bringing him in, and nobody still had done that. And so I know my preceptor appreciated me because I was like, I was talking to him because she told me she wanted me to try to act like I was her in charge. So I was like, do you want a whiteboard so that you can write and tell me? And he was like, yeah. I mean, he just looked so happy to finally, because he was trying to already. And I was like, would you like a whiteboard right off the bat? And that made him feel, you could tell his whole demeanor changed, because at first he was like, scared, had a kind of a chip a little bit. And I think he didn't know also, like, diversity wise, because we were both, I'll go ahead and say me and her both were white, and then he was African American. So it was like, are they going to really care for me? Are they going to do what I need? And then that showed him right then off the bat, this is what kind of care you're going to get. So he wasn't scared anymore. You could just tell how he felt relaxed.
Yeah.
But I could tell when he came in, he was like, oh, I can't even communicate. He was scared, not knowing at all what to expect from here. And you already have this whole new deal that you don't even know, like, how you're going to eat and all the things.
Yeah.
So, and how it's going to feel to do that. And that was rewarding for me, that he already just felt like he could touch my hand and I wasn't going to be like, don't touch me or anything. You have to also have good body language and bedside manner with your patients.
Oh, yeah.
You have to treat them like they are family. If you're not good at doing that, then start practicing if this is what you're wanting to go into, because they need to know that you are there for them no matter what's going on, that you're there.
Yeah.
Period. And he knew at that point that he could just touch my hand. He could touch my hand to get my attention if that's what he needed to do. And then he could write on the board. He could point at certain things to gesture. And you could just see a complete difference in him, that he knew he was in a safe place.
This is funny because these are all very, very small things. I mean, you literally just held someone's hand.
Yeah.
And you asked for a whiteboard.
If he wanted a whiteboard so he could communicate.
If he wanted a whiteboard. Very, very small things. I mean, you don't even need to do much.
It's just being thoughtful and also empathetic. Being empathetic is one of the biggest things that you need to have as a personality trait as a nurse, because you have to be able to feel where they are. And if you've never felt it, then you need to actually sit down and think about it. If I could not, if this just happened to me, I had a hole cut out of my throat, am I going to be able to talk? How am I going to feel? Am I still going to be hungry? Yes, but how am I going to eat it? All those things. And then, so you have to remember that that's where they are. They might be hungry right now, but they're scared to death to eat.
Yeah.
Or all the different things, you know what I mean? So, and what happens if I start to choke? They have all these thoughts. So they need us to basically be their mom.
Just
advocate,
to show them that
make them feel
care.
comfortable
Yeah.
and safe.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like that in your life. In all parts of your life, when you're going through something, suffering, even if you're sick. I mean, you don't need to, for example, if you have a fever, you don't need to have someone next to you. But it would feel good to have someone next to you, just they're checking up on you, So, yeah. So, we have a tradition. Like I said, I'm trying to build tradition. I'm taking a lot from ideas from a lot of other big creators and ideas that I like. And one of them, Diary of the CEO, has a tradition where they ask a question for their next guest. That's not our tradition. Our tradition, I was thinking of, what is one thing you would tell the other person that's coming after you? What
next
order,
cohort.
not next cohort or your classmates, is that or ASN students? I know cohorts is the same group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
next one coming in.
Okay, so the next one coming in. Yesterday, they said, what'd you say? She said, if one of them said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Mm.
That's what they would like to give you. The message they would like to give you is, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And the other one was, we talked about this so much. I was like, what did she say exactly? But she said that time is valuable.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. And she said, take care of your time.
Mhm.
And we kind of concluded in the sense of work for your life, your daily life, as if you're going to live forever, but work for your faith as if you're dying tomorrow.
Right.
I like
So
that.
that's how you're taking care of your life.
Mhm.
So that's how they want you guys to pay it forward. Now, what would you want to say to the people coming after you to tell them to think about or start applying to their life? I got the idea from the movie Pay It Forward.
I
I
like
have
it. I love
one.
that movie.
Yeah.
I got one. I just always say, even to my children, I just say, delayed, not denied. And I say that because, like I said prior, this is my second time around. That just may not have been my time. I didn't see it at that time. And
Mhm.
I'm glad that I was delayed and not denied because I met these ladies. I met some of the other ladies in the cohort that have helped me get here. And without their help, I don't think I would have been here because it's times where I wanted to give up. I've even had that moment now because I feel like in this semester, the final semester, and I just told Jessica because I'm like, I'm just so overwhelmed. And I'm just the type that always just takes on too much because I have that mindset or mentality. God won't put more on me than I can bear. Like I've been through a lot. Like my mom passed last summer. I got diagnosed with CAD. It's just like a lot has been going on. And like just delayed, not denied. That just wasn't my time. So don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. And I'm glad I did that because back in 22 when I first started this program, what happened was I failed one class out of the 3 that we have. And I was just gonna withdraw when that withdrawal period came and just not even keep going. But I had people next to me that were saying, just keep going. And I'm glad I did because I passed 2 out of the 3. So I had to sit out a year, but I had a lot to think about and put into perspective. And like I said, I just had to repeat that one coming back on with their cohort, which is now my cohort. So just don't give up, keep going. Delayed, not denied. It just
Delayed,
isn't
not
your
denied.
time.
I
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mine goes along with her. It's just be brave, persevere,
Mhm.
and if you fall, get back up.
Yes.
That is
Yep.
always what I have told my kids.
Yes.
Like, okay, you messed up. You got to try again.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the end of the world. It's okay.
Yes.
That's right.
Mistakes happen.
Yes.
Let's clean it up. Like,
With
let's
that,
try again.
Yes. With that, I actually applied to get into this program 12 years ago. Maybe even 14 at this point. No. It was
Was it
10
16?
years ago. It was 10 years
Okay.
ago when I applied. And I only applied one time. I was qualified and everything in all of the ways that you have to. It was super competitive at that point. Everybody everywhere around was trying to get in. So it was already bombarded. And so I also had a family member that was about to pass from cancer. And so I felt overwhelmed already. And I let one particular person that was in the cohort with me, she got in and I didn't. And she was one of the smartest people. And she said, well, it is super competitive. Don't let people and what they say get in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can do it, and if the people that you see around you while you were working at all these other places can walk past you in their scrubs and they got there, well, I'm sorry, but the creator that made me made you too. So we can both do it.
Facts.
You just have
Yeah.
to not let fear get in your mind
Yes.
and make it stop you.
Yes.
Because fear is
Absolutely.
always going to be there. There's always going to be something. Fear knows your weakness
Mhm.
and it's going to find a way to get in. So remember that and don't let what one other person says make you stop something that you worked so hard for.
Absolutely.
You already got to that point. Keep going. If you fail one time, the only way you fail fully is if you don't get up and try again, like
Yeah.
these ladies just said.
Mhm.
So nobody here is a failure because they kept going. It might have taken me a lot of time, even more time, because I had to come a decade later.
Mhm.
But that's okay, because look where I am now,
Mhm.
about to graduate in 2 months, and finally live the dream I always wanted to live. And that's what I more than anything want to tell everybody. Please don't let thoughts, fear, or anybody else that says, oh, well, my sister, she was in and she failed the pharmacology part. So, well, good luck. Don't let that stick in your head.
Mm-mm.
That was that person's sister. It might not have been her calling.
Mhm.
It might not, and maybe she can still get back up. The only reason she's not where she wants to be is because she didn't get back up.
Is that why you waited 12 years?
So
Did she get to you?
that person that was here in the cohort with me, that actually did get to me. I think it was a little bit of everything. I had small children during that time.
Mhm.
They were like 4, 6, and 8. My brother was about to die. It was my brother that's 4 years older than me. He was about to die, and he died that September, and I was supposed to start that August if I was going to, and I didn't make it in. So that was a bummer. It was just, but I will never forget hearing that girl say, well, it is super competitive, and it was the way she did it and everything that just stung my soul.
Mhm.
It stung me. It hurt, and it made me really doubt myself. And I just want everybody to know that
Yeah.
if you have felt any kind of doubt or fear, just remember that is not coming from a good place. And that is not you. That's something trying to attach to you that you need to just rebuke it out. It's not even, you're capable of doing anything that you choose to do and put your mind to. Stay focused. Don't let all those things stop you. And the last thing I wanted to say is you get what you give. And what I tell my kids is tenfold. So if you just put in
Bare minimum.
the bare minimum, you're going to get the bare minimum back out of it.
Mhm.
So if you really want something that you got to put it all in, but then as long as you put all of it into it and you focus 100% on it, in 2 years you're done, you got the degree, and now the world is open to you. You can do anything you want in that realm. And then you have all your normal life back. And like you said earlier too about the friends that left, well, they were probably using you anyway. So nursing school did you a favor again. Got the toxicity out of the way. The other people that were always there, that were always going to be there,
They'll always be there.
they're there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they understand what you were going through.
Well, I'm sorry for your losses, both
Thank
of you.
you.
Thank you.
It's I said this yesterday too. I would like to see myself as a faithful man, to God, and something that has been with me all the time, and that I think this is one of the reasons why it has carried me so far, is because I know that whatever happens in your life, God never puts something in your life that you cannot handle.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It
Amen.
might look like you're drowning,
Mhm.
but it's not drowning you. It's just very tough, but trust me, once that's over, which you will get over it,
Mm-hmm.
it will have taught you something or shown you something. The important part is that you find out what that is and use it for the better.
Yes.
Exactly.
A lot of people think that their life is over, and this is what I've told them. I said, if you don't get in, let's say you're like you said, you applied to this college, your dream was to get into this college, but you know what, you didn't get in. You have multiple options,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
and you have other schools.
Right.
And if you apply to one of those schools, then maybe, like you said, you get in, you meet new people,
Mhm.
fantastic people,
Mhm.
and they become friends for life.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's wild how I'm gonna steal this from Gary too. But I was at an event. It was not last year or the year before, so 2023. It was in Indianapolis. And I think that's where he said it. He said it's crazy how strangers become acquaintances, acquaintances become friends, and friends become family.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you guys will be like a family.
Mhm.
I don't know the extent of your friendship, so I'm not gonna, but yeah, I mean, don't look bad. Don't look at it in a bad way, and just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
your life will not be over. And like you
Correct.
said, 12 years, but those 12 years were probably necessary for something.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So
I had to grow as a person and on
Yes.
so many levels, and all the experiences that God gave me are what's going to is what helped me get through nursing school too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I mean, you've got to grow, you've got to become selfless, you've got to be a nurse. And I guess my personal opinion, I believe you have to be a selfless person.
Yep.
To do it right.
Yep.
Because you got to
Mhm.
be willing to get dirty.
Yeah.
that's facts.
Yes.
Yeah. My sister used to tell me a little bit about when she first started. Now she transitioned. She's not a nurse anymore. She's is it called a midwife?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
She delivers babies.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
Yeah,
wonderful.
she loves that.
Yeah.
She loves that. And I think my cousin's wife, she helped my cousin's wife
Wow.
with her birth. So, I mean, she had to suffer for 3 years being a nurse because you have to work, or no, I think a year and a half. So you have to work as a nurse for a while before
Mhm.
you can
Move
continue.
around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, everything works out in the end.
Yeah.
It
Oh, yeah.
does.
So, what do you guys think? Was it that horrible?
No.
No.
Sitting here talking?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know what to expect
Yeah.
sitting
that's the
here.
scary
I
part.
think they think that I'm gonna ask you a question, you have to answer, and then I'm gonna move on to the next, and but
It's
it's
more
a
like
normal
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
This is a
Mhm.
conversation, and
You
that's
just need
why
to have coffee next
I
time.
didn't even say that. Hey, trust me, if I could, I
Get a
would.
I
latte
know, got
machine.
you.
Yeah, but hey, maybe if we get unspillable cups,
Yeah.
if
Oh,
someone
yeah.
wants to sponsor us.
Okay,
Ooh.
let me
Right.
finish my degree
Hey, I'm not
and
talking.
get to work.
I looked, I looked at you, but I was talking about the listeners.
Okay, okay, okay.
Professors, wink, wink.
Wink, wink,
Wink,
wink,
wink.
You
wink.
know what I mean?
College. Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
No,
Mhm.
but so thank you, really, for taking your time.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
This
having
was a
us.
blast.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.